friends, we're back at Lowe's for the second time in 2 weeks. I'm here and I'm looking for, I got more seeds, and I'm just looking at the bigger planters to see what they have. So right now these have been my go-to pots. They're $2, you can't go wrong. And then I can always transplant them into something prettier. I ordered a greenhouse today, and then I'm gonna get my starter plants ready to go. Planting right now, it's nighttime, that's why I'm doing this inside. So I'm just getting my potting soil. I got a few more pots today. I planted squash and some salad greens, arugula, and they're supposed to take about 40 days until they're ready to harvest. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm excited. I actually need to water my other seedlings that I have. And I forgot what I grew outside. I actually put labels on these. It's like so dumb. Like why? I'm just gonna assume that I remember what I planted and what pot, and they all look the same. But so anyway, so I wised up, and now I have labels on the back of the pot. I just got stuff at Lowe's. So I'm gonna plant these 2 lettuces. One is just a lettuce Paris Island, and then this is a lettuce salad bowl. These are all USDA organic, and that's the purpose of having this beautiful little garden. I ordered my greenhouse and raised bed today. It's supposed to be here next week, and so we're gonna get a quick start on these guys before it shows up. But right now I'm putting little holes into the pot and putting maybe like 1 or 2 seeds in each hole, and I'm excited. They said lettuce is supposed to be the first thing to grow, so that's why I was like, I went today and I only spent like $25 on everything. I got a bunch of seeds and a couple of pots, and I also have organic potting soil. I'm looking forward to getting all of this stuff in the ground and hopefully seeing some progress in the next week or 2. Hopefully I start seeing some sprouts on some of my little plants here. Seeds are so tiny. And I'm watching Perry Mason, which is like the old school Perry Mason from what, 1960s probably. I'm telling you, I used to watch that show before I went to bed in high school, and that was like my signal to go to sleep with Perry Mason. And every time I'd be watching it, trying to stay up till midnight, and I always would fall asleep, and then I would wake up at the end of the show when they start playing the music. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. Excited, and you guys will definitely know when I start getting some sprouts, because I will be so excited that I will show you all. But hopefully I'll get some good growth this year. Hey guys, we got sprouts, baby. I'm not sure what this is, what I threw in here, but it's sprouting. These guys are not, but this one is now too. So I'm super excited. Well, I planted these 3 last night. And then I planted these guys about like almost 2 weeks ago. Okay, here she is. The greenhouse is complete. Is she built perfectly? No. Is she gonna do the job? I think so. So I already have, like I mentioned, I already have some plants growing. I'm gonna add a couple more, and we'll leave this open until tonight so the plants can stay warm and keep on cooking. Hey guys, so I want to wrap up this video this week to talk about like my workouts over the past couple of days, and we've had a little bit of inconsistency with our scheduled workouts, and I know I haven't been going hard at all my workouts. Today we had a really good one where, again, we did kind of like a modification of hundreds, where you do like hundreds of every exercise. Today we did like 50 and 40. So we're gonna keep going in that direction, and then in between each workout we did some type of active break. So for us it was either jogging around the gym are going for a brisk walk, are holding weights over our head and walking around the gym like that. That's what we did today. So now I'm out getting a walk, and I honestly was not feeling it today. I woke up and I stayed in bed a little bit longer than I should have, and I was running late for work yet again, and I was able to get there just like 2 minutes late. But I really am focusing on trying to be on time to everything. That's, in the past 2 weeks, I've been doing really well with that. It's been like showing up to work on time every single day. So I'm going to still work on that. And the podcast for this week, I don't have a guest. So I am trying to figure out what I should talk about and what would be fun to talk about. So if you guys have any suggestions, leave a comment. And back to fitness, my nutrition has not been the greatest. Sundays, I usually have a hard time. I'm sitting at home most of the day. So I start eating like a little snack here, a little snack there. And before I know it, I've eaten like 2 little containers of ice cream and whatever. But I did get my garden done this weekend. Still a couple things I want to plant. And then I also have my little greenhouses done. That was a pain, you guys. Oh my God. It took me hours to put that things together. So anyways, I think I'll feel better once I get back into my exercise. I think that 2-day lapse of no exercise is not good for my brain. My brain does not like not having some type of movement. And actually, I should talk to you guys about that, because I had plans to go on a date. Remember my last video? We were going to go back to Cabrillo and go on a hike, and it got canceled. This is the second time, so I'll probably have to talk to you guys and do like a sit down with this one and tell you guys what's going on with that. But yeah, I'll catch you guys and a little bit later. Hey guys, just want to finish up this video. So an update, I mentioned that my date was canceled again. So this is the same guy that canceled on me for the first date. And so I was just kind of like done. I was just like, okay, cool. So I wake up on Saturday morning and I'm like, okay, I have to get ready to go and, get dressed and blah, blah, blah. And then I look at my phone and of course there's a text saying, hey, I need to cancel our date. I need to reschedule. And of course I'm like, all right, this is it. I'm over it. And then he just says, hey, like, this is what's going on with me. And so I basically write the text of like, hey, like, I don't want to, I basically wrote like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, I don't want to reschedule. And then I started just getting all of these messages. And I said, this is what I'm looking for in a relationship. And I said, you've canceled on me twice. And I'm just like, this is not what I'm looking for. Then he writes back this huge text and stuff. And, and then he explains to me like what's going on with him. And so I don't want to get too much into that. But I was just like, I was just so done. I was so done. I was so upset about it. There was another incident that happened earlier in the week, and we had a conversation that was very brief and short because I was just like, I don't want to talk right now. So I know everyone's probably like, well, then this guy's done. He should be done, right? You should be done. Well, somehow we're still talking through this. I don't know how. I got more details about like what was really happening in his world. He wanted to reschedule for this weekend, and I told him, no, I have plans. So sorry. I'm just starting to talk slowly, but it's like, that's the part about what's hard, is that how I can't get a real sense of like, what is up with this dude, other than like, I'm like, this is just his bad behavior. And I said, and I should not reward somebody who is having bad behavior right now. And I should just move on. So of course I'm still like out there trying to talk to different guys. I had another guy who I didn't message yesterday, and I think he was kind of like, oh, well, whatever. But he and this random guy, we talked for a couple minutes, and he was like, hey, like, I'm thinking about going to Yosemite this week. And he goes, hey, you want to come? And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to Yosemite with you. If I'm going to Yosemite, I'm going by myself, because I just think it would be so much better. And he wanted to talk yesterday, and I was not in the greatest mood yesterday. So I was like, forget it. I'm like, I don't really feel like talking. So I didn't talk to anybody yesterday. Yeah, I was just really, really tired yesterday, and I really should be tired today because I went to bed at like 2 a.m. I've been having a whole moment. I think I've just been really like emotionally drained with this guy and trying to figure out like if I'm doing the right thing. And so, basically like put him on notice, and I said, if there's like one more freaking thing, I said, I'm not going to speak to you. Like was like ready to block his number and everything. And I was just like, fine, just have to restart again. So I'm continuing to look around. He continues to call and to send me messages and stuff. And so, you know, I just said, this is what I'm looking for. And if you're not going to be it, then that's fine. Like, we can move on with our lives and whatever. I ended up building my planter. That was supposed to be a project for this weekend, was to go to the Creo National Monument to go for a hike. And then that was another thing for Friday night, was that he was thinking it was going to take us 3 hours to go do this, and then for me to be back home by like 4 o'clock, 4:30. And I was like, it takes 45 minutes to get there. If I get there at 1 o'clock, we're not going to get there until like 1:45, almost 2 if we're lucky. Then like, I just felt like it was going to be rushed. And I said, and then we're literally going to have to leave by like 3:15 to get me back by 4 o'clock. And then I have another 20-minute drive back to my house. So I was like, I think we need a little bit more of a buffer. I said, I feel like it's rushed. And he was like, no, I don't think so. It's fine. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm just letting you know. I said, your time is going to be very short with me. I wasn't really super excited about that, but that's kind of how it went. And then we ended up not going out anyways, which was fine. But I was just like, I was just really bothered by it, I'll be honest. And honestly, if he's watching this video, that's fine, because like, I will just tell you, I was not impressed. I was not happy. And I'm allowing people to not treat me well, which is not okay. Just one of those, it's just messed up. It's just a mess. So I'm trying to figure out where I stand with this guy, and if we're ever really going to go out again. We can come over, we can watch a movie. And I was just like, no, I do not want to go over to your house and watch a movie, because I don't feel like we have built that rapport to where I can completely trust you. I'm just kind of keeping some distance. We're having some conversations, but you know, I'm just trying to figure out, I'm like, what is your deal? And do I really want to spend more time on this? So I'm keeping my options open and still talking to other people, trying to get to the heart of like what is really going on, what are the real issues. But I ended up making my planter by myself. Spent all evening, all of Saturday night building my planter, and stayed up till like 3 in the morning that night. I just been really triggered and upset, which is not good. And I really, like, everyone's probably like, yeah, just like release this guy. I probably should have just stopped everything on Saturday and just been done, and I would have moved on, and I would have been talking to this other guy, well, others hopefully. So didn't happen, but I am continuing to move forward and to try to figure out my next steps. Not giving this guy much more of just a little bit of time that I have. And I just, you know, he's like, well, what are you doing the rest of this week? And what are you doing this weekend? And I'm like, I have plans this weekend, and I'm working the rest of this week. And during the weekdays, I don't like going out. So that's kind of where it is. It's a little bit of a mess. I wish I had a better report, positive report, but I spent a whole lot of time being really irritated this weekend and feeling like upset. And I shouldn't feel upset about anything, but there we are, keeping my options way open. And then I have definitely been triggered. So I've been doing a whole lot of emotional eating, which has been really bad. And of course, if I eat like more than normal, I put on weight like crazy. So my weight's back up again. So I'm just trying to not completely crash and burn. My face is all broken out. I'm sure it's because of what I've been eating. It's been a little bit of a mess the past couple of days, but at least my stuff is planted. I have that to look forward to when I go home. I'm going to go for a walk in a little bit, but I know it's just like this whole dating thing. I just want it to be smooth. I actually, for inspiration, I was watching Lauren and Cameron from Love is Blind, and not from the first season. And I was just like trying to get like inspiration of like, man, I'm like, I just want to find like my Cameron who looks at me like I am the best thing ever, and who treats me like gold. Like that's what I ultimately would like. And I just cannot seem to find that whatsoever. It's just not a good situation, and I'm not putting myself in a good situation yet again. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at right now, which is not in the most positive place dating wise, but that's work on that. Trying to work out, but then I'm like, you know, snacking. I was up until like 2 o'clock in the morning yesterday when I should have been in bed by no later than 12:45, and I was just snacking and just reading about this toxic waste dump that was like in our town that I was like learning about. Just all of a sudden I just had this idea. I was like, oh, I should look into that. Like I should read more about it. Like I heard about it when I was a kid, and like all the like drama with it, and like how did that really impact like our community? Like all night like reading all the different reports and stuff and things that some of the city members did, and how many times they got sued. And it was just like, and how like the city was dealing with it, which was not well. I am a mess. I'm just hoping that dating wise I can find more high quality people, so I don't feel like I need to continue to keep myself open to people that I definitely should say no to. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to this video, because I will be giving you guys more and more updates about everything that's happening in my dating life. I had a better report for you guys, but don't have that this week. So till next week, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.